let's start playing. So, sorry, I just have to pull this page up. So we did the F chord and the C chord, and I think we also did the G7. Is that right? Or did we just do F and C? We did F, C, and G7.
And G7,
Great.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's do that. So I want to hear you play C like this, and then F, and then G7. Oops, I didn't sound good on my G7. Good. Okay. So, and go slow, just like that. So Sabrina, let's have you go first. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, Stalker, you're next. 3-string Stalker. Hey, did you change the rest of your strings, by the way?
No, because they stayed tuned, and I'm like, oh, if you change them, you're gonna screw them up. They actually stayed. Well, you'll tell me right now, but I checked about 5 minutes ago, and they all week they were actually pretty nice. So, I know I felt like I was gonna screw them up if I.
Yeah, it's okay. You can do it later.
Okay. Oh, that was flat.
Try that again. Do that F again.
Oh, back to.
Do that F again.
Sorry.
Okay, so now remember, when you have that dead sound, it means that your finger's touching another string by accident. So bring your hand up a little bit and try
I
it.
did a lot of corrections last week. Like, I mean, as I was doing it, I was having to stop and correct, but I mean, I can tell when it sounds off.
Yeah, which is so good. I mean, hearing your mistakes makes the biggest difference. Let's have everybody do this. Remember we talked about holding it like that? This is going to make a huge difference in your playing. If you can remember to put the ukulele in your hand right here, right where this joins here. And then when you play, you want your hand to actually touch that tuning peg there. And what that does, if you can play like this, is it puts your elbow out, which is what you really want. You want your elbow out, and it also puts your fingers at this angle that we want, so that you're not playing with your fingers straight like this. So try doing that. And the thing is, you can play everything that we're going to play for a really long time with your hand like this, and then you don't move your hand, you just move your fingers. And that's the goal, is not to be moving your hand, but just move your fingers. Now later we're going to learn stuff where you have to move your whole hand, but if you can get in the habit of playing like this, then when we do move the hand, it'll be so much better. So I really want you to do this. And now I want you to try that, Teresa, and I think you're going to find if you can do that, then you'll play better. You won't have the dead note sound. So try that.
Just from the C or the two that were dead?
Let's do F and G7.
Okay. F.
Okay, so that's okay. Now look at me. Look at me. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to take your hand and move it up this way. Move it up towards your face. Now try that F chord again. There, see how you didn't do it there? Now what that means is that you're not doing the claw. It's gotta be a claw when you play, because if this finger touches, if it's not clawed, do you see how I've got an angle here and an angle there? If it's not, then it's gonna touch this string, and that's what you don't want. So you've gotta have that claw. So try that again now, just the F chord. Much better, but I want you to work on that, okay? And then the G7.
I don't.
No.
This is just an angle I haven't been practicing.
Yeah. Okay. And remember, when you're playing like this, you actually want your hand touching. You don't want to do this and then move your hand down. You want your hand actually, the ukulele is cradled there. And you see how I've got my ukulele kind of straight across my body? I've got both elbows out, and it's super comfortable, and I'm not going to drop it. I'm not going to have to go like this because I've got it. So you want it really holding it there. Okay. So just work on that, and if you have trouble with that, I don't know, let me know. You can send me a picture of your hand or something, okay?
Okay.
But that's really what you want to do. If you can just keep it where it's actually sitting in between right here, your ukulele should be sitting right there. It should not be outside of that. It should be touching this part of your skin, okay? Do the G7 for me one more time. Okay, and now what that is, you were doing that on the F too. Remember, this one is really hard. That one is hard. You have to press down really hard, and you want to press with both your finger that's touching the string and your thumb that's behind the uke to get that down enough. Okay, so just keep working on that and you'll totally get that. Okay, Alana, let's have you do that now.
All right.
Okay, very good. Couple of things though. I want you to play with just your thumb, just going gently across the strings, not down into it, but just going across, kind of like it's just brushing. And then I want you to do this hand position. Okay, so do this hand position that I'm showing you right now.
Just like that?
No.
Or lower?
No. Take the ukulele and you take your hand like that and put the ukulele into your hand right there. Okay? Is it into your hand?
Yes.
Okay, now with the back of your hand, it should be actually touching that first tuner.
Oh, okay. Got it. Mm-hmm.
Now put your fingers over, and your fingers are automatically, if you play like this, your fingers are angled, and that's how you want to play. And you don't want to move your hand when you're playing different chords. You want to just move your fingers.
Okay.
Okay, so work on that. Write that down if you need to, or take a screenshot or something. So I want you to really remember that. And you too, Teresa, whatever you guys need to do to remember that, I want you to really remember that. Okay, Sarah, let's hear you do it. Terry, we're just doing C, F, and G7. Great, very good. Terry? Okay, great. Now I want you to do this too. I want everybody to do this right now, okay? Take your hand, put the ukulele right there inside your hand, right there. Now it's not on the neck. It's right past where the neck joins the head of your uke, okay? Then I want you to make sure that on the other side of your hand, it's actually touching that tuner. See, touching that tuner there, okay? Now just put your fingers down on the uke, and you see how your fingers are angled? That's going to make it much easier to play D, G7, any of these chords where we have multiple fingers in the same fret. It also forces you to put that elbow out, the left elbow, which should be out when you're playing. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's do, let's see. So then we just had this, right? C, C, C. How are we doing this? And I'm so sorry that I'm asking you. I'll have it written down for next week. How are we doing the chord, practicing the chords? Okay, great. And were we going C, F, C, F, C, F?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that, C and F. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, C, C. Hit, F, F, F. Hit, C. Okay, stop for just a minute. Now, Terry, you're holding your uke pretty high up here. See if you can bring it down just a little bit. Now, do you have an arm on your chair? It's real hard to play in a chair with an arm. Yeah, see if you can move up a little bit. Okay, because I want your elbow out a little bit more. And that's why if you have an arm on your chair, it doesn't work as well. So remember, everybody, I want your hand like this. Teresa, get your hand up there. And you can tell it's in the right place because it runs right into that first tuner. So that's how you can tell if you've got it in the right place. Okay, so here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, C, C. Stop. F, F, F. Hit. C, C, C. Hit. F, F, F. Hit. C, C, C. Hit. F, F, F. Hit. C, C, C. Hit. F, F, F. Hit. Very good. Very good. Okay, so now I'm going to have you each play that for me. Okay, so Sabrina, let's have you play that for me. Great. And Sabrina, you have fantastic hand position. The way you're holding it is perfect. Really, really good. Okay, good. Yeah, I can tell. It really sounds great. Teresa. Okay, good. Now, whenever you have the hit in something, I want to really hear a hit. It will not hurt your ukulele. You can do a lot of stuff to get different sounds out of your uke and it won't hurt it, okay? So just when you do it a hit, because it's supposed to be a specific sound with this drum pattern, okay? All right, Alana.
All right. I'm hoping, I don't know. I feel like my hand is still a little bit sliding, but maybe it's just because I need to practice that a couple times. But is that right where my hand is?
It's good, except that you don't have it over touching that tuning peg. Make sure it's touching that tuning peg. See that?
So
see how it pulls your elbow out when you do that? And that's how you should be holding it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
Very nice. Very nice. Sarah?
That doesn't sound right.
Okay, good. Now I want you to make sure you put that hand out there though, okay? All right, great. All right, Terry? Do you want to do this or do you want to just skip over this part since you already know how to do this?
The hand position part is really different, so I would actually like that.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Now don't.
I'm used to playing it like this.
Yeah, make sure that you're not resting your arm on anything, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. And you know what this does, Terry, is that it makes it so when you know how when you're trying to play a song, sometimes in your uke kind of slips and you have to go up?
Yeah, like because it's an open or something.
Uh-huh.
It gives it a place to hang.
Exactly. You will never have to do that if you keep your hand like this.
Yeah,
Never.
that's cool. I
So
like that. Thank you.
Really a great hand position. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So now we're going to do C, F, right? We did this also, right? C. So we'll go slower than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, F, fix your hand, Sarah. C, F, C, F. Okay, great. Now let's have you each do it for me, Sabrina. Excellent. Great. Teresa? Okay, Teresa, which finger are you using to play the C chord? Okay.
That first.
F. Get that F right?
I get my fingers.
Perfect. There you go. Good. Alana? Okay, now, Alana, when you strum, you don't want it to be so much of an individual thing, but just it should sound as if you're playing them all at the same time. Do that again for me. Okay, I want you to work on that. There are some strums where you're gonna do this, but you wanna get used to doing the one that, even though they're not being played at the same time, it should sound like they're being played at the same time. Okay, great. Sarah? Fantastic, great. Carrie? Great. Okay, now we're gonna do F, G7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. F, G7, F, G7, F, G7, F, G7. Okay, Sabrina, let's have you play that for me. Fantastic. Really good.
Thank
Teresa?
you.
Good. Good. Alana? Okay, good. Sarah? Great. And can you tell when you have your hand in the right way, Sarah, the difference it makes in being able to play that G7?
Yeah.
So much easier. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Terry? Most of us don't learn this hand position until later. To be able to start doing this hand position so much better.
Yeah, it feels really odd because what I have practiced hasn't been that. So
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. Okay, FG7, right?
Mhm. Great. Okay, now we're going to do G7C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, C. G7, C. G7, C. G7, C. Okay, Sabrina? Great. Okay, Teresa?
So this wasn't on my list to practice, sorry.
Oh, okay.
But we'll do it.
Oh yeah, I didn't give you this to practice because it's so hard to go back from C to G7, but just try it.
No, I like it. I'm just
Good.
saying. I'm just a little slower.
Okay. Okay, great. Alana? Great. Okay, Sarah? Okay, great. Carrie? Great. Great, great. Okay, so now the other thing that we talked about is doing the hammer, right? The hammer for the F chord and then the hammer for the G7 chord, correct? Did we talk about that or not? Okay, so this is a fantastic thing to learn to do. It's going to make playing the ukulele so much easier. It's called hammering. And what you do is instead of playing the F chord like this, where you go 1, 2, you're going to put both those fingers down at the same time. At the same time. And you're going to put them down pretty hard. Can you hear that my ukulele is actually making noise as I do this? It's called hammering. You have to make sure that you're doing the claw fingers. You can't do it like this, and you have to hit hard. Okay? Let's have everybody try that one. And so Sabrina, you do that one for me, okay?
Like just strum or just you're just
No,
hammering.
you don't, you're just hammering, you're not strumming at all. So all you're doing is this.
Did you say the F chord?
The F chord. Wait, I think you don't have, this finger's not in the right place. It needs to go down one. There you go.
Just like
Are you doing this finger and this finger?
yeah.
Okay. Now, make sure you still want to use the correct hand position. So get your hand position out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at your fingers while you're doing this. The whole reason for doing this is to get in the habit, instead of going 1, 2 when you play the F chord, to going 1, so that you play F, put your fingers down on F at the same time. And just listen to it while you're practicing it. You can do this while you're watching TV, all kinds of things. It's also good for building up your calluses, especially with this one that's really hard. So you want to just get in the habit of doing that, okay? Just make sure you've got the right notes there, okay? All right, great. Teresa? Okay, don't have anything covering your strings. Leave your strings open. You've got your other hand on your strings. There you go.
Oh, I was trying to do it like that, but so do this.
You can do, yeah, hold it like you're going to hold it like that, but you're not playing anything here. So you're not touching the strings and you're just touching these strings. There you go. And look at your hand and make sure they're both going down at the same time. And it should sound something like this. Can you all hear what I'm doing? It should sound something like that, okay? All right. And look, make sure when you're practicing this, you look at your fingers because you want to make sure they're going at the same time. And it's called hammering because it's like hammering a nail in. You want they both go down at the same time and it goes down hard. Alana?
I can kind of hear it. It's very faint.
Yeah, that's good. Now make sure that this finger is bent and not at all straight like that. Make sure that you've got that angle going on. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Sarah?
It's so quiet.
Now you've got your fingers on your strings. Don't touch your strings with your other hand. Okay, now do it again and you might be able to hear something.
I mean, it's just very light. But
Yeah, it's very
I
light.
hear it, yeah.
It's very, very light. Yeah. And you want to just hold your uke down here because you want to make sure that you're holding your uke like you were playing it. And then, but
Yeah.
you're really focusing on this hand. Okay. Okay, great. Terry? Okay, get your hand in the right position and do it.
Nah, I can't, Liz. I can't.
It's so much harder. I can do it so easy like this. And then when I go
You know
like this-
what? When I'm at that steep an angle, my pointer finger, like my joint locks backward.
Oh, that's interesting.
How do I?
Try.
Is that high
Just
enough?
just do your index finger just by itself. You want to make sure that you're locking this one like that, so that that's part of what you're hitting right there with it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Still doing it?
No, it when I hold it lower, like where I've been practicing it, it doesn't do that. But higher, I don't know. I'll just have to practice it more.
Yeah. And you can practice just that one by itself if you want to just get that real
Strengthen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
now we're going to do the same thing with the G7 chord. So when we play the G7 chord, we're going to have our finger down here, right? Just like in the F chord. So everybody put your finger there. So index finger right here. Now you're going to, the other thing, then you're going to play here and here, right? Play your G7. Now lift these fingers, leaving your index finger down. Now what I want you to do is hammer these two fingers down. Hammer those two fingers down. Now make sure that you're not doing this because then it's going to sound like this. It's got to be where you're attacking them from straight going down on there. So now G7 goes from having to go 1, 2, 3 to going 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is how you practice the G7 hit, is like that. Okay, so let's have you do that for me. Sabrina, do that for me. Good. Now, I don't want you to go too fast because I want you to make sure that you're using your muscles to do it. Just like when you lift weights, you know, you don't want to go too fast. So we want to be playing from up here, not just in our hands. So I want you to really do that so it's all of your arm doing it.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Great. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, Teresa.
My fingers are doing some funny things. But I mean, it's getting even a little better like each time I do it. But when I first did it, they were wiggling all over the place. So I must never use these muscles or something.
Well, and I
This is great.
playing piano, so it's probably a little bit easier for me. Do this. Get
I'm not left-handed either, so I'm like, ooh.
I want you to put your just turn your ukulele over, okay? And put your left hand on it. ukulele is not the best thing. You can do this on your computer, but this way I can see it. And so what you're doing is you're doing this, right? You've got this finger down, let's see, G7. You've got this finger down and you're doing this. Do you see
They
how
don't move together though. Oh,
they will? It
I
just
know.
takes practice.
I know.
Okay? Don't
I
do
know.
that too much on your uke. Better to do it like on your laptop or on a table. But that's a really good exercise to get your fingers working in different combinations, because our chords, some are going to use just one finger, 2, 3, 4. They're going to use all different kinds of combinations. So this is your first step towards getting those strong. All right. So just practice that. Okay, Alana, let's hear you do it.
I apologize. My brother and my father are playing pool and being very loud, but
Okay, good. The only thing is, Alana, I don't think you're quite bending your fingers quite this much. Try
okay.
to- there you go, like that.
Okay.
Do you see the difference? Because when you do it like that, you're going straight down, straight into it.
Yes.
You see how that's going? So everybody look at this. When you do this, you don't want it to be where you're going down sideways and landing on the side of your thumb, of your finger. You want it to be you're going straight down, straight into those strings. And this is actually called hammering. It's something that you'll do if you get more advanced in the pretty advanced stuff with ukuleles. You'll do some hammering to get this specific kind of sound. So it's a good thing to learn anyway, but right now it's going to make a really big difference in your chord playing. So I really want you to learn this. Okay, so Sarah, you do it for me now. Okay, go slowly. Okay, good. I want you to do it slow and even. Don't let yourself do this fast, because it's just like lifting weights. If you go fast, you don't get nearly the workout that you do if you do slowly, okay? And even. Great. Carrie? Great. Go more slowly.
Slower than that.
Oh, wait, let's see. So what I want you to do is have this finger down, and you're going to do these two fingers.
Oh, and those two?
Yeah.
That's harder, Liz. That's harder.
Yeah. Keep that index finger down. You can't lift the index finger. The index finger has to stay down.
All righty. Huh. Okay. I need some serious practice on that.
Don't lift your index finger. You're lifting your index finger.
I don't know how to not lift it. So that's takes some. Maybe I need a rubber band.
Try doing it on a flat surface too, you know, where you can go and just lift.
Oh, you know what? I was using the wrong finger for holding down that first fret anyway.
Ah.
Right? Because yeah, because you use your index finger for that one, right?
That's right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's why.
And then these two. There you go. Now you got it.
That's why. I was like, what?
Good. Okay, so this is called hammering. So this is going to be part of the homework, is hammering. Okay. All right. Then another part of the homework is I want you to continue to do this, where you're doing the F, G7, F, G7, G7, C, that whole thing. Okay. So I'm going to give you the homework. It'll be written in the book. Okay. So now we're going to go to our first chord exercise. Okay. And once we get good at the first chord exercise, then we're going to do our first song. So this is where we start getting into the fun stuff. So let me pull that up. And I'll post this, and I want you to print it out at home, okay? So, oops, wrong one. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Now, you're going to print this page out at home or wherever, okay? It uses the 3 chords that we know, the C chord, the G7 chord, and the F chord. And the way that this method is going to work is that every time we learn a new chord, I'll give you a new chord exercise. And the chord exercise will include all the chords that you know that far. So once we get to exercise number 2, you don't have to play exercise 1 anymore. And same thing with 3. And then we have songs that go with each one. So the great thing about knowing F, G7, and C is that you can play at least half the songs in the world with those 3 chords. And so let's get going on this chord exercise. Now, the way we're going to do it is we're going to do it with the down, 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 hit. Down, 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 hit. That's our strum pattern, okay? So do you see how we have the C here? And then we have this line everybody can see, right? And then another dash or another, what's that called? Those things. So that means that you're going to play each chord, each strum pattern, you're going to play it 4 times on the C chord. So it's going to go like this. C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, C, C. And then you change G7, G7, G7. Does everybody understand? Okay, let's try this. Here we go.
Real
1.
quick.
Yeah.
So 1 slash is a count of 4.
That's right.
Okay.
So each of these is a strum pattern. So this is a down, down, down hit. This is a down, down, down hit. Down, down, down hit. Down, down, down hit.
Okay, so it's not just 3 down strong.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for asking that. So here we go. 1, remember, get your hand position right. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 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 hit. Say it with me. C, C, hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, we don't get any faster. We stay the same speed. G7, 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 hit. G7, watch your hand position, everyone. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. F, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. G7, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. C, 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 hit. F, 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 G7, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, F, 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 hit, F, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, F, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, F, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, C, C, C. And then we do the last line again, C, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, F, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, C, 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 hit, F, 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 hit, G7, 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 hit, C, 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 hit. Okay, so did that make sense to everybody? Anybody have a question about it? Now, do you have a question, Teresa? Nope, okay. So you don't want to go fast because even though this part feels like it's going on forever, pretty soon you're going to get to where you're changing with only 2 chord patterns, and then you're going to get to where you're changing every time. All right, so don't go fast here because you can't slow down. It's got to go the same speed the whole way through. Now, the way it works with the chord exercises is that they are always harder than the songs that come after them. So mastering this chord exercise means that when we start playing the songs next week, that it's not hard, all right? So I want you to get this really, really good this week. And don't get discouraged if it's hard for you. This is the hardest part of ukulele, is this beginning part. You're learning everything is brand new, and you're building up calluses, and you're having to figure out how to hold it, as well as how to strum it, as well as how to do your fingers. So don't be discouraged if it's hard. That's just normal, okay? But pretty soon, the holding is going to get real easy. The strum's going to get real easy. And then it's just a matter of figuring out the different chords and how to play them, okay? And they're easier after you have these down. So don't let yourself get discouraged with that. So do you have any questions? Okay, so let me go over the homework with you real fast. Oh yeah, question, Sarah?
Were you sending everything on Facebook Messenger? Is that how you're doing it? Okay, I'm not a part of it. I'm Sarah Moon on Facebook.
Ah, okay, good. I'm so glad you're telling me that. Let me fix it right now. I think I saw Sarah Moon and I didn't know if that was you. So
Yeah.
let's fix this. S-A-R-A Moon. Yep, there we go.
Yes.
And it's not your picture, but now you are in the group. Check and make sure that it worked, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see it.
Okay, great. All right, so let me just tell you what the homework's going to be, and then I'm going to print it all as well. Matter of fact, I'll do a screen share that you can see what it is. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this, and then I'm going to do a new share. Okay, so do you see this is our class homework? Okay, can everybody see that? So I want you to do the F, the C, and the G7, each chord string by string. Why are we doing this? Why do I have you do this string by string? Anybody know? Teresa?
Because we can tell when we're screwing up. No, it is easier to hear if you're not quite, at least the claw part for me, or if you're overlapping something or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the whole reason for doing it. And it's also the reason for doing it slowly. You want each one to ring. Don't do it like this. Okay, slowly. So F, C, and G7, and really listen. Then you're going to do, so let's see, let me do this. So the F, C, and G7, each chord, string by string. Then you're going to do the hammer on the F and the hammer on the G7. And then for the next 1, 2, 3, you're just going to do the one strum going back and forth. So you're going to go F, G7, F, G7. And this thing right here, that's a repeat sign. So that means you just keep repeating it. Now, remember, if you're doing this and it doesn't sound good, don't just keep going. Stop and find your mistake. So you'll do it F, G7, G7 to C, and then you'll go F, G7, C, F, G7, C. But don't go that fast. I want you to do it slowly and controlled, all right? It has to be even. It can't be some fast and some slow. And then the chord exercise number 1, and I'm gonna post that and you're gonna print that out. Okay, is that clear? And I will post the video for today's class in this page as well. Okay, it'll take me a couple hours to get it up on YouTube, but then it'll be up there. Okay, so thank you very much. You guys are doing fantastic. I hope that you can all tell that you're getting better because I'm hearing really good stuff. So awesome. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Bye.
thanks for your patience in me joining late. My grandbabies were up visiting from Arizona, so
Oh,
I was a couple
cool.
minutes late. So thanks for
Everybody
your
was
patience.
late. Actually, I was late. My cousins came over to make some food for my mom, and so
good.
I was a couple minutes late too. So
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks,
right.
everyone.
see you later.
Have a great week.
I won't be late next week.
I won't either.